This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question, should I let my ex know I'm hurting if I want them back? Take a quick second, click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. That includes videos on relationship dynamics, mindfulness, marriage, and breakups. And if you like this video, be sure to click like so I'll know to do more videos like this. After a breakup, when you want your ex back, it makes sense to a lot of people that you should let them know how you feel, especially if you're missing them and you're hurting without them. But usually, as a matter of fact, almost always, that is the last thing you want to do. And there's a few reasons for this. And it's not that you're trying to be dishonest. It's not that you're trying to play a game with them. But you have to defend yourself. You have to project a frame that will help you going forward be stronger, be more attractive. And sometimes there are things that you need to do even when you don't want to do it or it feels badly. So for example, one client asked me if she should post something on social media that would express how sad she was or disappointed she was with the breakup. And she said, I hope maybe he'll see that and he'll realize that I'm hurting. And I said, well, you don't want him to realize that. And stick with me on this one, because a lot of people will hear that and they'll think, well, you just want me to play games with them or you want me to be manipulative. That's not what I'm suggesting you do. It's okay for you to confide in close friends and family if those friends and family are not mutual friends with your ex. Just be careful about that, because I have seen that blow up in people's faces way too many times. So avoid talking to people about the breakup if they are mutual friends with your ex. Now, talking strategy first. The reason you don't want your ex to know you're hurting is because, as I have said in other videos, mystery is the most powerful thing you can do to attract your ex again. The reason for that is because if you give them the answer one way or the other, the questions are eliminated. So those things that could keep them up at night, those questions that could go through the mind of an ex when the phone vibrates and it's not you texting them. Those questions are what keep them moving forward. It's also what causes your ex to actually take another look at this, because at the breakup, your ex is not even thinking that they couldn't get you back. And you may be thinking, well, of course they're not. They just broke up with me. What I mean is that your ex is not considering that they could want you back and you could not be gotten back. And I've explained this a lot in other videos, but I'll summarize quickly. Basically, when your ex breaks up with you, they feel that they are higher on the totem pole of attraction simply because they are breaking up with you. Now, they may give you all kinds of lip service, telling you how wonderful you are, even saying things that are ridiculous and completely untrue, like, you're too good for me, or things like that. Most of the things that are said at a breakup are untrue and are just said because they want to try to make this easy on you so that you will let them go and leave them alone, because that's what they think they want. As I say in a video I have called Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact, the first stage is usually relief. Not always, but usually it's relief, and they want to get to that as quickly as possible. And so telling you what you want to hear or what they think you can't argue with, softening it in some way, is what your ex will typically do, just so that they can get into that relief stage, so they can feel like they got it over with, because breaking up with people, breaking up with someone is difficult. You feel like you're hurting them. And so they want to give themselves an easy out by feeling like they didn't hurt you as much as they could have. They treated you softly, and that maybe you're just going to walk away pain-free. Now, what's funny is that then they sort of start to think about that, because really they would like to see that you're having some difficulty with the breakup, because they like to feel attractive like they did when they broke up with you. It's not that they want the part about hurting you. They don't want to feel that, but they like that they feel attractive. Who doesn't? And so when it appears early on that you're not having difficulty with the breakup, that can bother them. And you certainly don't just want them coming back to you because they want to feel more attractive. But their reasoning becomes less shallow over time because they actually have to be without you. And it's more complex than just, I don't feel very attractive, so I'm going to go try to get her back or get him back so that they can make me feel more attractive. Or I'm going to make sure they want me back by checking social media or talking to their friends because I want to feel super attractive. It's going to usually become more complex and deeper and meaningful over time. But early on, if they're in that relief stage and they sort of regress, that's often what happens, is that it's a shallow type of thing. And so you certainly don't want to just give them that satisfaction of feeling just so much more attractive than you. You want them to question it. And they may reach out. Sometimes in the relief period, an ex will kind of test the waters because they want you to reassure them that it's hurting. And it makes me mad just saying it, because over the years I've spoken to so many hurting people who would love to have just a kind word from their ex and they don't get it. And now to know that this person is wanting to use you to make themselves feel more attractive, it's pretty disgusting, because we're talking about something typically that a narcissist would do. And I'm not saying that your ex is a narcissist. You can actually do some of the things that a narcissist does without being a full-fledged, diagnosable narcissist. But that doesn't mean that this is a terrific person. It just means that we are giving them the benefit of the doubt that when you think you want to break up with someone, when you think that your future is better without this person and that they really don't fit, breaking up can make sense. But usually they haven't truly considered a life without you. And that's what we want them to experience, because until they do, it's just a concept in their mind. And so you have to let them experience that. If you let them know that you're hurting, it can give them back that ego boost and that reassurance. And they won't ever get to those stages we need them to get to where it becomes deep and meaningful, to where they realize they don't want a life without you. And it's not just about feeling more attractive than you, or that they're concerned that maybe they aren't as attractive as they felt. You see, that's just the initial pain that gets them to rethink this and possibly change course. That's not the finished product. That's not where you want their heart to end up. That's not where you want them to be when you two get back together. That's why staying quiet, not giving them the opportunity to know either way, allows them to just formulate this in their own mind and to go through the stages that I talk about. And I will link to that video, Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact. I'll link to that in the description below and you can check out that video. But in order for them to get to those stages, we need you to disappear. We need you to be quiet, to leave them alone, and to use the no contact rule. Because the real message that we need your ex to know is that you can stay away and that you can move on. And even though you're hurting and you may feel like you can't, you want to project that. And that's the person that you want to work on becoming. And sometimes you have to just push through and strengthen yourself. For example, when you're working out, it may be extremely difficult to run that mile when you first start. And you may feel like, I'm not good at running the mile. I'm not in good shape. That doesn't mean that you stop. It's not a permanent condition. You keep exercising and working and getting stronger. The same is true with emotional and mental health. And so sometimes you have to do what's good for yourself and better for yourself because you know it's true, not because it feels good, not because it's easy. And so it feels like it would feel good to let your ex know that you're hurting, to express that, to get it off of your heart. I get that it feels like that would feel good, but if your true goal is to get your ex back, it would not help you accomplish that, first of all. Second of all, it would cause you to backtrack in terms of getting stronger, because just like if you were to stop when it became difficult when you were exercising, you would be preventing yourself from actually getting stronger, getting better, getting healthier. And so using your ex as a sounding board, or, which is what a lot of you think that if you tell them you're hurting, that you will get some sympathy from them. You see, that's actually not a source of strength, like saying, I just need to speak it or I just need to express it, but you're actually trying to get sympathy, thinking that it will help you get them back. And I have talked about this in other videos, and I do talk about this in the emergency breakup kit, but sympathy is actually almost the exact opposite of attraction, because you can feel sorry for someone. You can hurt for them, but it doesn't mean that you're attracted to them. As a matter of fact, it's often the opposite. It often works differently in that if you feel sorry for someone, you are almost turned away from that side of yourself that actually feels attraction for them, especially if it's an ex and they're hurting because you broke up with them. So put yourself in the shoes of your ex. They could feel sorry for you. But in many ways, it will become a nuisance to them. They will actually see you as causing their pain because they will see this as, well, they've hurt you. And so being reminded of that hurts them just because they're a decent human being. They don't want to hurt other people. They don't want to cause other people pain. And so in time, as they see your pain and you remind them that you're hurting, they actually can become angry at you. They can become annoyed by you. And a lot of times people will be surprised when their ex shows anger and says things that are hateful or mean. And it makes no sense because you think, can you not at least see that I'm hurting? Could you not just be kind to me because I'm in tremendous pain right now? It's because your pain has caused them pain. And a lot of times this is true if you're dealing with someone who maybe has some borderline personality disorders. And so even with people who don't have those, if they are being reminded that they hurt you for a while, they can start to see it as whining. And it's not attractive. And so what I'm telling you is, if your question is, should you let your ex know that you're hurting after the breakup if you want them back? The answer is no. And even in later stages, when your ex is moving back towards you, when they're reaching out to you, even if they say that they think that they want to get back together, really constrain yourself as far as just opening the floodgates and telling them how badly you've been hurting, how much you've missed them, how much you want them back. You really need to use discipline here because you can cause them to get that ego boost and it can send them back toward that feeling they had when they got the relief from the breakup. And they can start to feel like they are more attractive than you. They can start to feel like a lot of this process where you have shown strength, where you have shown the ability to move on, that was just fake. That was something they didn't have to worry about after all. And it can cause them to actually regress to where they don't see your value. And that's really the key here. This is not that we're trying to use some Jedi mind trick on them. It's that we are showing your value as a person, that you're strong enough to move on. And even if you don't feel like you are in that moment, we are projecting the strength that we want you to have. You are projecting the strength that you want to have. And so it may not be true in the moment, but with so many things in life, you push through. You make yourself do what you know you need to do and what's best for you. And so there's multiple reasons why you don't want your ex to know that you're hurting. You don't want to broadcast it. You don't want to express frustrations on social media with deep and profound memes of pain and disappointment. You don't. You also don't want to look like you're putting on and trying to just appear that you are super happy and you're shutting down the clubs and having amazing times with friends and trips and that you are the happiest you've ever been, because that would probably look fake. And your ex might even think, well, I must have meant zero to them. You don't want to go to that extreme either, because that can make your ex think that you are the shallow one and that they were better off getting rid of you. So mystery is really the most important, to where your ex just doesn't hear much from you. They don't know what's going on. And so I do have a video that talks about radio silence, where you just don't post on social media. And there's some benefits to that as well. I will link to that video in the description below. And I talk about this and a lot more in my emergency breakup kit, which is the culmination of my 2 decades in the relationship coaching service. If you like this video, please click like and please subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.